Well, good morning, everybody. This is Mr. Lowe again. I'm going to go ahead and provide some notes going over section 10.7. This is the first part of the notes. I'm cutting this lesson into two parts. Today we're going to be talking about areas of circles and with something called sectors. And we're going to focus mainly on these two things today. Tomorrow we'll introduce a couple more parts. So just to get you started off, we're going to go over two vocabulary words. We're going to go over chord and sector. I'll try to be as brief as I can. And then we're going to find out how to find the area of a circle. And then eventually we're going to find out how to find the area of a sector. So with that in mind, let's get started. A chord basically is a segment whose endpoints lie on the circle. So just as an example, if I take 2 points that lie on the circle, those become the endpoints. And then if you connect that, that's called a chord. So this is chord AB as an example. Okay, so the distance from A to B with the endpoints on the circle is a chord, C-H-O-R-D. Okay, you'll see a little bit more of that on the next video. But today we're focusing on mainly on sectors. And so what exactly is a sector? Well, a sector basically it's the part of the circle, the arc of the circle that's, for lack of a better word, encased inside of two radii forming the central angle. So let me draw an example. So if I take a radius here, and we'll call this point X. So from X to C, there's a radius. And then if I draw another one, come out here, and we'll call this point D. Here we have the arc now, CD, which is a minor arc, by the way. So it's less than half. So this right here, the whole thing is called a sector. This whole area right here. And that's what we're going to be finding the area of everything in the shaded region. This is called a sector of a circle. The whole thing. Like a slice of pizza, basically. And so we're going to be finding this area. So to do that, we need to first know how to find the area of the entire circle. And so that's just very simply, A stands for area, pi times the radius squared. Whatever the radius may be, you square it. No big deal. Notice that anytime we have an equation that involves a circle, pi is always involved. So it's always remember the pi, and that's 3.14, of course. Radius squared. So then, once you understand that, then finding the area of the sector is just like what we did in 10.6. It's the part is to the whole thing. Notice that? This is just part of the whole area. So we're going to set up another equation. Okay, now the book does it one way. I'm going to stick to that, the proportion that I taught you in 10.6. So basically, part is to the whole. So the area of the sector is to the area of the circle as, and then now what we need to do to solve for sector, we just need to find what part of this whole thing does this sector take up. So we need more information. So in this example here, let's say this were 60 degrees. Well, isn't that the central angle? Which is the same as the arc measure, right? Because it's the central angle. So we could just need one of those relationships that we learned in 10.6. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and use the central angle is to 360 degrees. And again, all you have to do is solve the proportion. So obviously 60 out of 360 is 1 over 6, or 1/6. So if you can find the area of the circle, all you got to do is just take 1/6 of it. So it's just, again, solving the proportion. So let's go ahead and do this example right here. And we'll go ahead and say the radius is, well, I can make this really easy. Let's just go ahead and call it, it doesn't matter. I guess we'll call it 10. So the radius is 10. So we're trying to find the area of this sector right here. So the area of the sector, I'm going to call it S, is to pi times radius squared. So 10 times 10 is 100. So this would be 100 pi. I hope that's okay. 10 times 10 is 100. 100 pi. This is in terms of pi. As the central angle, 60 degrees, would be to 360. And then now I'm just going to reduce this to 1/6. My life gets a lot easier now. So then all you have to do basically is take 100 and divide it by 6. But we'll write it out really fast just to make sure. So we got 6s equals 100 pi divided by 6. And then of course you're going to get 16 2/3 pi, which I don't like the mixed number, but I'm doing it just on top of my head. So if you want, you can even write it as and reduced. It's 100 over 6. You could reduce that to 50 over 3 pi, and that is a good answer as well. Okay, it's just reduced. Okay, so hopefully this makes a lot of sense. And of course, keep referring back to this, but this will be your first assignment of the day. And I will give you several questions as an assignment, and look for that on Google Classroom. So hopefully this is helpful, and I'll be available for questions. Thank you.